Cookies! Today I'm going to be going over some historical fiction recs, so let's get started. Randomly, I was like, I want to talk about more genres, so I found this random list on some website. I don't even know if it was like truthful or not, but it said that November you should talk about historical fiction, so November I should talk about historical fiction, I guess. But I have a few recs. Historical fiction is one of my favorite genres, so I really like to read stuff, and I don't it doesn't have to be like totally factual with me. It can have a bit of magical realism, so some of these books are going to have a little bit of magical realism. Some of them are not. They're going to be purely like mostly factual, except with like made up characters. So if that's not your jam, you might want to skip this video. But anyways, we're going to go into it. Now, I don't recommend this author because she's highly problematic, but if you can find these books somewhere in like a used bookstore, you can pick them up because the money won't go to her. But it is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, which is one of the books in the Mackenzie Lee series. She also wrote The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and there's a third one coming out. I can't remember. But basically these books are about these siblings who go on an adventure through like, it's like 18th century England. They go through a lot of different places. This one specifically focuses on Felicity, who is trying to like run away from what her father is deeming as proper for her to do, which is basically marry and pop out babies. She don't want that. But it's a very fun read. It has a lot of good diversity in it, which is why I'm totally not knocking the book because of the author. But yeah, that is basically, it's pretty good. So like 18th century Europe, if you want like a quasi-historical retelling with some like magical elements in here, hey, this might be for you. Only use bookstores though. The next one, another one that has, magical realism moments, is The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. This is kind of set like 1800s-esque, I would say. It doesn't really give a time period. I hate when books don't give a time period. Give me a time period, please, so I can imagine it better. Anyways, but it's basically about the society, and when girls reach their 16th year, I believe it is. Yeah. 16th year, they have to go and live in the woods for a year. Why? It's because to get out their feminine wiles. It was a lot like Lord of the Flies in a way, but it's so well written and it's so good. Like, I highly recommend this if you're looking for a book to pick up. It's so good. We're just going to call like this first half of the videos historical fiction with magical realism moments. But another one, Wolf by Ryan Graudin. This is so good. Basically, this is a reimagined tale of what if the Nazis won the war. Our main character is Yale, who was a former death camp prisoner who was tortured and experimented on, and she has this really unique ability where she can impersonate people's like she could totally like shapeshift. It's really, really cool. But every year there is this motorcycle race. Gail is a part of this resistance. And she plans to enter this motorbike race to get close to Hitler enough to kill him. Super fun. If you like racing books, which is apparently a trope of mine that I found out that I really like. If you like racing books, definitely check this out. It's really good. I love Ryan Graudin's writing, and there is a sequel called Blood for Blood. And the last one for like historical fiction with magical realism moments that I'm going to talk about is My Contrary Mary, but also the Lady Janie's books. What would it be called? The Lady Jane's books? Jane's, I don't know. But yeah, these women. These women right here. But this is the fourth book that they have wrote together, which is about Mary, Queen of Scots. And it takes place while Mary is in France, away from her country. and all of that hot mess and everything. But in this one, she can shapeshift. I like shapeshifting books, apparently. She can shapeshift. That is part of, like, a group of people that she's a part of that she's not actually supposed to be a part of. It's like a secret. But she can turn into a mouse, and her friends can turn into different animals. And she has to kind of figure out what's going on, why she's not being told certain information, what's the real deal of what's going on. This is, and like I said, this is part of a series. It kind of like sisterly goes with My Lady Jane, which I've not read yet, but I've heard raving reviews. But there's also My Lady Jane, which is another royal. I cannot think of her name right now, but in editing I will think of it and I'll put it down here. My Plain Jane, and then My Calamity Jane. Which I think My Plain Jane is Jane Eyre, and My Calamity Jane is, I cannot think of her name, but again, it'll be down here. But yeah, super fun book. Alright, and then another one that is historical fiction, but with a twist. Yeah, I'd say a twist, a big twist, is The Beholder by Anna Bright. I know a lot of people didn't like this book, but I found it really rather pleasing. I really liked it. But basically it takes place, oh, it's an author letter, cute. Okay, so basically it takes place in, like, I'd say like the mid-1800s, maybe like the late 1800s. But it follows this girl named Sella, who is a princess. Who is, like, Sella is like kind of like a princess type. I know it explains it in the book. I could just, goldfish memory. But they called, like, the U.S. area, like, the Potomac. It was obviously none of that Revolutionary War didn't happen or anything. But she sails across the Potomac to go and find a match, basically, for her to marry and make alliances and stuff. So, sailing, seafaring book, super fun read. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really liked it. If you're into that kind of like twisted history kind of thing, you'd like it. Alright. One that is actually pure historical fiction that you would like if you don't like the magical realism bits is going to be Rebel Spy by Veronica Rossi. Basically, this is a retelling of, what would it be? I think Agent 335, who was a spy during the Revolutionary War for George Washington. A lot of people suspect that it was a female, but no one knows exactly who it was. So this is Veronica Rossi's take on who Agent 355 would be. It was fun. The first part of it is really slow, but once you get like to the midway point and stuff starts actually happening, it picks up pretty fast, and it's fairly good. It's fairly good. I liked it. Alright, another one that is just historical fiction is Walls by Ellen Elliott. It follows Drew, who is an army brat, and his dad is in West Berlin. This is during the place of Berlin Wall, and it talks about the fall of the Berlin Wall and everything. So I don't have a lot of history regarding well, a history up in my head regarding the Berlin Wall or anything. I did have a chunk of the Berlin Wall, actually. It's at my parents' house, but I didn't know a lot about it, and this book was very, very informative about the going-ons and the Cold War and stuff like that. So if you're looking for something very informative, I'd pick this one up. Another one that I would also pick up is The Rebel of Auschwitz. The Rebel of Auschwitz, which is by Jack Fairweather. It is a real story. I think maybe some bits of it are imagined, but it's a real story of, what's his name? Witold Pilecki? It's down here. I can't pronounce crap, I'm sorry. But he is a Polish underground resistance member who infiltrates Auschwitz to figure out the best way to take down the camp and everything. Very informative, pretty good. I liked it. It was solid. It will make you cry. Along the same vein, if you're looking for books that are set during World War II that take place in the camps, is The Librarian of Auschwitz. It's very self-explanatory. It's about this girl who secrets books to kids and everything, and she keeps them hidden from the guards and stuff, and she's the librarian of Auschwitz. I believe that this is also, based on the experience of real-life Auschwitz prisoner D. the Cross. who's the story of a girl who risked her life to keep the magic of books alive during the Holocaust. If you love books, if you like World War II stories, definitely pick this one up. It will make you cry as well. And then the last one I have that is another book, a World War II book, that is involving books and World War II, is The Paris Library by Janet Skeeslin Charles. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But basically, this takes place in Paris during when the Germans were invading France and everything. And it's about this girl named Odell. She is a, well, she starts off as like an apprentice and becomes like a full librarian, I think, by the end of the book. But she is showing off she is taking care of the books and everything, and she has to, I think she hides some of the more important reads and everything, before the Germans can come and destroy the place. Also gonna make you cry. Super well done, super well read, and very factual. So you'll learn a lot. And it's based on the true story of his heroic librarians at the American Library in Paris, which is this set of. So pretty good. So that is historical fiction books, if you're looking for them, that you should read during November. I don't know why November is historical fiction genre specific, but according to some random website I found, it is. So hey, go read historical fictions during this month. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.